Hey YouTube, hello Crazy Troll Nation. Thank you for being here. Thank you to the replay crew. Thank you to those who circled back to see what you missed. If you came in later in the chat, I do appreciate all of that. And I appreciate those who circle back to leave comments. And even if it's just an emoji, because that does help feed the beast that we call the algorithm. Today we're going to talk about brushes, all things brushes, according to what brushes I have. Hey Skinny Queen, which are all synthetic because my skin does not tolerate natural hair brushes. Hey Janet. And so that's what we're going to do today. So I'm going to do the intro, give YouTube time to do what it do, and then we will get started. Hello and welcome. My name is Dion. I call this the Crazy Troll Nation of YouTube. The crazy, knowing it's okay to be your authentic self in a world where people will tell you who and how you should be. Just be who you are. It is very freeing. The troll part is not caring too much about the beauty community standards. You set the standard for yourself. Try not to feel like you need to use a certain brand, a certain tool, or a certain technique because that's what they're telling you in whatever video you're watching. I'm here to tell you, use whatever you want to, however you want to get your makeup on in a way that you are satisfied with it. Here at the Crazy Troll Nation, we believe in self-acceptance and self-love, embracing your natural features, enhancing them if you want to, when you want to, but never feeling like you have to. Love yourself for who you are and for how you look, even when you're not wearing face paint. So that's what our motto is. That is what we stand for. I hope it resonates with you if that is your first time hearing it. If you've heard it over and over, thank you for indulging me to, well, for when I keep saying it, you guys are probably saying it with me. But two things about me. I curse sometimes because I curse sometimes. And there's an organism named Bruce that lives in my throat that randomly hiccups, gurgles, and belches. I try to be aware of him to say excuse me, and he will most likely make an appearance because I just scarfed down my breakfast. Yes, at this time of night because I'm nocturnal, so this is my morning. And I sipped some water and I sipped some tea. So, all about brushes. I got a lot of friggin' brushes. Let me move this so I can get to these easier. And so, if I like a brush, I get more of that same brush. So I have a lot. So I'm just going to show you what I have, and then we're going to talk about one of each, what they say or how they're typically used. And if I use them differently than that, then we're going to talk about that. Because it goes back to using what you use the way you want to, and sometimes a brush may be for a certain thing and you don't like it for that thing, so you try it for something else and you're like, oh, this is the best brush ever. And that has happened to me with quite a few brushes. So I thought I heard something. So what I'm doing right now is just making space on my station because I always keep cloths on here, so I was folding that up, putting that over here, because all of these I can just drag across the table if there's nothing prohibiting it from dragging. Thank you all for being here. Feel free to share about your brushes, things like that. I am a very organized person, and and I have my brushes categorized. I have them stored in a way, I have them stored according to their purpose. So I'm gonna show you this first. These are from Target, and because they fit in this container, I put them in here. But for right now, we're going to take them out. I think I got this from TJ Maxx or Marshalls, and it does have compartments in it, as you can see. And this front portion is where I had these from Target, and they did come in a 2-pack. So these are, I use these for powder and highlight, but all of them are not quote unquote highlight brushes. And also these are all my, well, not all, these are my Sigma brushes. I was wondering where this other thing was for the stool I'm sitting in, and I do have one here somewhere. These are Sigma brushes, and these in this compartment are Sigma brushes. These are Hodgepodge. These are Lethal. The pink ones are, I want to say Fenty. No, the pink ones are Blend Bunny. And we have Lethal. This is Sigma. All of these in this compartment, these are my Scott Barnes brushes. In the theater, waiting for Wicked to start. Oh, enjoy the movie. Before you leave, Janessa, and I'll say this again later. Hey, Tanya. Sarah and I, we do keep in touch off YouTube, and we did text today, and she said that she wishes all of you a good 2026 and whatever it is that your heart desires. And so she made it a point to say, please let them know. And so that's her message to all of you. And I'll say it again later when more Crazy Troll Nation crew pops in. So this is how I have these stored. So these are not necessarily, they're kind of according to use, but kind of not. And so how did I have these in here? Because it's backwards. I had blush brushes. No, blending brushes. These are all blending brushes of different sorts. These are the brushes that I use for placing shadow on my lid. So I call those shader brushes. And these are brushes I use for shadow on my lower lash line. And some of these I also use for blending out when I put eyeliner on my lower lash line. Because this is not enough space to put a container, I put my lip liner brushes, my lip liner things in here. So that's just to use up that space. And so this sits this way, the tall one's in the back, at the back of the table against the pony wall. So that's how that sits. Yes, a lot of brushes. It's just a lot of brushes. When I like one, I get more. And these are Hodgepodge. These are the two recent ones I bought from Makeup Forever. They're foundation brushes. I don't use the paddle brushes, but I wanted to see if I would like them. It was on sale. They were really cheap, so I got two. I don't like them for liquid foundation, but I do like these for face paints. And so, thank you, Janet. Yeah, she's really sweet. And I have my quite a few spatulas in here. This one is magnetic, so it sticks to everything. This one is, I believe, from Lethal. Yeah, this is Lethal. I have eyelash curlers in here, which I never use. I have two more spatulas in here. And these are the brushes that came with the CC Beauty thing, and these are trash. They shed like crazy, and so these are just in here till they shed enough and I get tired of them. So this just sits in the back over here. And so if I need a spatula or if I'm depotting, I'll take out this from Lethal. And I don't know why this is this long. Why is this long? Like, I know it's for depotting shadows. Why do you need this to reach this far for a shadow? Let me know. And this is I did get this from Marshall's, and it still has a tag on here. This was $7.99. These are the brushes I use for lining on my upper lash line. That's what all of these are in this compartment. These are all the brushes that I use for eye primer, concealer, and foundation, and cream paints, and the oil-based paints. This, I didn't have anything in here, so this is where my mascaras are. And so this sits this way over here. So, where do we start? You bought acrylic clear, hold this for them. You bought? You bought? I need someone to set up my brush collection. I have so many that I am putting off organizing and arranging them. These helped me a lot. These from Target helped me a lot. And I had those before I saw this one, because instead of having those three separate, I would have put them in here. But then I was glad that I did, because when I saw this huge thing from, I believe, Marshall's, I was really glad that they fit like perfectly in here. as far as widthwise and lengthwise. And so those three fit in here. A little bit of space, put my lip liners. And so I remember before I used to have like each compartment was a full face, but then I found I was still pulling brushes for other stuff. And so this actually works really well for me. Liner brushes, lower lash line brushes, shader brushes, blending brushes. And so if I want a particular brush, I know exactly where to go. Hey, Haywood, how are you? So we're going to start with the easiest. They're all easy because I love brushes. Hi, my name is Dion. I'm a brush hoe, among other hoes. Excuse you, Bruce. So we're going to start with this. We're going to start with the brushes we use for liner on my upper lash line. And I'll probably keep saying that I have a lot of brushes. And so I'll try to just pick one of each. And it really doesn't matter because some of them are very similar. Of course, the ones that stained. But these are not the same brush. One is lethal, one is Esom, but they're the same type of brush. So I will try to avoid those. Well, as far as showing you like each brand. So right now I'm just pulling out different brushes, different style brushes. Some of these came from the kit and they're nondescript. They have no name, no numbers, nothing. And if y'all saw that kit, y'all remember this shit was cheap as hell. You miss Booty Smoothie in the chat. Oh, did I? Did something happen already? Oh, you bought acrylic clear holders for brushes. Yeah, and you see how many I got. This is a lot. This is a lot. And I like clear acrylic because it just looks nice. Because even where I have stuff falling over if I move something, and I have other containers too. So this is these are just tweezers, eyelash things, Q-tips, my eye cream, primer, eyeshadow base, primer, lip oil, primer, foundation, and concealer. So I just love them because they just look neat, and I like stuff to look neat. And this one I got from Amazon. It holds 24. So of course these are lippies. And I have another container too. And then once I reorganized stuff, I ended up with a couple extra containers. And so the one that holds, and y'all saw the one that has my blushes in it, the highlighters, all of that. And the other thing, but I'm not even gonna go get that. So eyeliner brushes, eyeliner for upper lash line is for the engines. Booty Smoothie is for the engines? I'm missing something. It's for engines. I still don't know. Like it's supposed to smooth your booty? I don't know. You still have brushes in the original packaging, never used. Somehow, Tanya, I am not surprised. Oh, I did miss it. I don't even see where you kicked them out. Or her, whoever. Whatever it was quick. I'm just looking through the chat. Let me put this on all chat. All messages, I should say. I hate that it does that. The magnet long, oh, you didn't? Okay. The magnet on the long stick is for engine work. But why is it being sold as a depotting tool? Like I don't. And I have seen something like this in mechanic shops, but for a depotting tool, I'm like, why? Hey, Alexandria. I'm confused. I'm usually confused. So for eyeliner brushes, these two are very similar. These are typical, just long. I only use natural hair, synthetic brushes because my skin doesn't tolerate natural hair brushes. So we're going to put that one away. So and this is kind of thick for eyeliner for upper lash line. And I do have to be sure to use the tip of it to get a thin line. And so I usually don't because I'll do really good straight right here on the point and then go sideways and then it gets thicker and then, do the wing. But this is good for any type of eyeliner I use, whether it's gel or a cream. And all of these are good for that. Synthetic brushes you can use for anything. You can use for cream, powder, liquid, if you have something water activated or whatever. I don't know where the hell this thing came from. It's white as hell. I don't know. I don't even know if I've used it. Some people do prefer this type, and I'm going to show you a thinner one. This one came with the kit because it's nondescript, but we're going to talk about this one. So these are all the same shape. This one actually is the Sigma brush. This is the type that they used in the class. And even when Chick did my makeup, like out of all of these brushes, she saw one angled one, and that's what she dove for. And so, you know, people get caught in their ways, and that's fine because I have my ways too. But they do that. Let me take one that's not metal, so that way it won't keep putting glares on you. And the reason they use one like this is supposedly it's easier to wing it, but to me that doesn't even matter, because even if it's a brush like this one, you can still just do a wing. So I really don't understand. I really don't. But this is the one that they used in the course, and as I said, when Chick, like, this is the one that she dove for. So I think it's a situation of you learn how to do something one way, it works, and so you never just try a different way. You like the little eyeshadow brushes? Yeah, these are the ones I use for liner on my upper lash line. I seldom use these for upper lash line. I really do, because I usually use like not even that one, something like this one. If I'm using a MAC paint pot, this is their 220. This one is super thin, and it works really well with the paint pots because it is a thicker formula. And even though this frays, because of the thickness of the paint pot, it does gather all the bristles together. So if I'm using a paint pot or the MAC fluid line, I will specifically dig for this MAC 220 brush over, you know, something like this, a thicker one. But I don't know why, like, I don't know what the big deal is for this, because I can do a wing with any of these brushes. And so I think somehow they're saying, yeah, the 220 is super thin. Like this thing is super thin. And this is Esom. And this one is, I just had it. And this one is Lethal. Lethal is a little bushier than the Esom. But yeah, this is super thin. And so it does work really well for me for the thicker formulas, such as the paint pots or the MAC fluid line. Hi Sith, how are you? I am not. Thank you, Janet. I don't know what's happening, but thank you. Janet be on it. And so I really don't understand like why this is like the go-to. Because when I do use it, which is seldom, I use it the same way as I do any of the other ones that I showed you. I don't know why it's thought to be easier. Like I really don't know, but a lot of people do just dive in for that one. This is one they sent me, Esom sent me by mistake when I ordered more of these. They sent me these by mistake, and they told me keep it, and they'll send me the ones that I did order, which they did, which was really kind of cool. And I'm like, I don't use like straight edge liner brushes. And because they were sitting here, I'm like, one day I'm like, let me just see, because y'all know I'm always saying just try stuff and just see. And so I think I did a white liner. I did my regular wing liner with one of the other brushes, and I took my white, it had to be from either Lethal or Inglot, the liner, and I just put this in it, and I just made a straight line right there. So that gave me like a triple wing, and that's all I did. And so I didn't drag it out. I think the second time when I did that, I did drag it out, but this is good for that. I wouldn't use it for my lash line because my lash line, as most of ours, is curved. This is straight. So that's why I was like, at first, like, am I really going to use this for liner? But that's the only thing I used it for. It was just stamping a line like right there, because I knew it was going to be straight as long as I didn't like place it sideways. Just to stamp like an extra liner line. I haven't used it for anything else, and so I don't know what else I would use it for, but it is an eyeliner brush. And so I wouldn't use it for my lips because our lips are curved. So I don't know. For the graphic liner somewhere, I would use it for. But I think I want to use that one like twice. These Ew, what is this one? This is from Sigma. I didn't realize this was similar to my Esums, which I had for a while and they stained. But we're going to get with that because that's the non-eyeliner brushes. So I have two of these, two or three, that I purchased, not realizing they were very similar to the Esums. And I do like it that it has black bristles, but I do have a bad taste in my mouth with Sigma because of their other brushes that shed and they started falling apart and they wouldn't honor the guarantee because they were still usable. Um, so I probably won't be buying anymore, but I like that they're black bristles because these were white. They stained. Maybe nose contour. That would be good for that. I don't contour my nose though, but yeah, that would work for that. Yeah, that really would. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. So thank you, Skinny. I'm saying even if a brush is for one thing, use it for whatever you want to use it for. And that's something I wouldn't have thought of because I don't contour my nose. But yeah, that would definitely give a straight line because it is straight versus the curve of the eye or the lip. Thank you, Skinny Queen. See, that's what I'm talking about, y'all. Use a brush for whatever you like to use it for, regardless of what it's marketed as. And they may say that on the website. I don't know. But yeah, that would definitely work for that. Um, so this I usually use because of the shape of it. It is thin, but because it's rounded. This is one I would use to put eyeshadow under here, under my brow. And where's that brush? I'm missing something. It is a... Where the hell is that brush? It's a Scott Barnes brush that I keep in here. The one that I like, that I use to just put a thin line under my brow. Where the hell are those? But you know what? They're with my other eyeliner brushes. I was about to flip the freak out. Like, where the hell? I had put them with the other brush. I don't know why. But these are in here because these are the ones I use for upper lash line. And maybe I put it there because I actually use it for powder for my brow bone. But anyway, so these I'll use to put a line under here. But what I love these for, because of the width of it, and the brushes you use are also dependent upon your face shape, the puffiness of your face. Because there's brushes I have that are that for me are for like moon pie faces, like puffy faces like mine. So some of the brushes I'm going to show you, if you have a thinner face than mine, they may not work for you. But what I love this for, the width of this is perfect. Look at that. For when I put paint, powder, fluid line, or ink light in my brows, because this is the width of my brows. And so I'm not going to say it will be perfect for everybody because everybody's brows are not the same. But y'all see how this is the width of my brows. And so it's really easy for me to use this brush or this one of those. I think I have like 4 of those and I have like 2 of these, I think. So this is the one I'll use if I'm putting something in my brows. And when I get to here, to where there's no hair, I'll turn it sideways and use the tip of it to draw the tail. And so I'll bring it flat and then turn it sideways and do the tail. So this, for me, this is my go-to for that, or a shape similar to that one. You use 2 eye brushes, Janet. If I have bristles shedding when I'm using them, brush straight into the bin. Yo, them Sigma ones, and I wasn't going to do anything about it. And Nina she reminded me, it was in the live chat. She reminded me they have a 2-year guarantee, and she had an issue with brushes, and she's like, oh, yeah, and they replace them. So I'm like, oh, okay, I messaged them, I sent pictures, and they're like, well, since they're still usable, blah, blah, blah. Excuse me, it's only a matter of time till they fall apart. And that's the ones I stopped using for foundation because they were falling apart. Every time I would wash it, bristles would fall out. So I'm like, it's only a matter of time before enough falls out where the whole thing is just going to come out. But they would not honor the 2-year guarantee. And I had only had them like a little, maybe about a year. So I'm like, so you really just expect your brushes to last for 2 years? Because all these other brushes I'm showing you, minus the ones from the kit and minus the Real Technique ones, I've had for like 5, 10, 15 years. Like seriously. Except for Scott, maybe like 7 years for Scott. And so you mean to tell me 2 years? And that was my issue with Lethal when their brushes fell apart. I'm like, oh no. And they didn't want to do anything about it. And I kept going back and forth. And so finally they gave me like partial credit, which was cool because the first purchase was the set. And it was only the eye brushes that were falling apart, not the face brushes. Anyway, I'm off topic. This brush, this came in the kit. Excuse me. I use this for the same thing because it is the width of my brows. And My favorite. Y'all can tell what I like because I just like, ooh. These are Scott Barnes, and I love this for, and it says it's an eyeliner brush, lip liner brush. I like this for just that very thin strip of color, like right here in the arch of my brow. And this is the brush I look for when I want to just do that. But it is also good for if you want to do eyeliner. Oh, I just flipped my lashes upside down, or lip liner, but I love it for up here. If you are someone who does carve out your eyebrows with concealer and you do all the fancy stuff, this will be good for that too because it will give you a thin line and then you can lay it flat and feather it down and then go through and blend it out. And you could also use this, thank you Skinny Queen, for contouring your nose and your lip line and all of that. And so these are the brushes that I use for liner on my upper lash line and shadow under my brow. Wearing your college ring. Yep, I got two of them. This one is my master. Wait a minute, which is which? This is my master's ring. This is my doctorate ring. Yeah, and they were special to me because I dropped out of high school. And so when I went through college, I'm like, I'm doing all the marches. I'm doing all the stage stuff. I have all of my stuff on the wall. And so I have on my wall, I have it in a way where it's like, well, I have the military certificates and all of that stuff. And then I have my certificate from when I was working for special training we had to do. And then I have my GED, and then I have the bachelor's above that. And then I have my master's and then the doctorate above that one. So I have it set up in a sense that is actually my lifeline. Because I did start military before I started college. And so, like, on the wall, it's like my lifeline. And so, yeah, people be looking at it, they be reading it like, wow, you did a lot. I'm like, right? Davina has nice brushes, says Alexandra. I brought some last Black Friday. So, I kind of want to say for 2026, once the no buy is over, that I'm going to still not buy much until like October, November, December, because that was the best time for sales. Like I buy a lot of stuff. I really don't. Well, I don't think I do. Educated around here, boo. That's right, Dacasas. How are you doing this evening or morning? I don't know where you are in the world. We do have some international people who come here, which I am just thrilled about. You use the same 4 or 5 all the time. Ridiculous. The same exact ones, because like I have duplicates of brushes, and so I can say like I use the same exact brush, but it might be 1 out of 5 of that same exact brush. You know what I mean? When we like something, I don't know what that means, Julian, but hello and thank you for being here. I hope it's something good. She might be cursing me out, or he might be cursing me out. You use 2 eye brushes, says Janet. And that's fine. Look, if they work for what you want them to do, which they do, hey. And I don't want to say I wish I was that way, where I didn't have all these brushes. And I know it goes back to my childhood, like when I didn't have enough. So now it's like, if I can have it, I'm going to have it. And if one breaks, I already have a backup. I don't have to be like, oh my gosh, I don't have this. I need to go buy it. And so it's just like it's a me thing. But the lifeline is beautiful that we create for ourselves. Yeah, because when I moved over here from next door, I think I had it set up like that next door too. But I was just like, And I have the tassels and the thing they put on you for doctorate. You got the whole robe, the gown, and then they put this thing on you that's like this thick, and then it has the thing on there. So that's next to my doctorate one. And then the tassel from that looks like my bachelor's. Where's my tassel for my doctorate? I mean my master's. I don't see a tassel for my master's. And we don't have them for, I need to go look at that because I don't think we had tassels for our bachelor's. So that might be in the wrong place. Hey, Sons of Ray, we are talking about brushes today. I just went through the brushes I use for upper lash line and when I put color under my brow and when I put color in my brow. So that was these. Now we're going to come over to this right here and scoop them out. I'll say this again. I'll probably say it later on. For those of you who are familiar with Sarah, she is a disabled vet as well as myself. And so we do stay in touch off of YouTube, check in on each other. And she messaged me today. What happened to it? I still see it. I still see it right above where Skinny Queen said the lifeline. That's beautiful. And in between her other one, oh, I missed that one. I used a really big brush for powder when you were younger, and your mom would let you walk out the house with a black body and a white face because I used so much powder. And you torch yourself. No, it's not ridiculous, Alexandria. Like whatever brushes you like. And so, it's going on your side. I still see it over here. I would read it, but I don't know what it. I don't. I speak Ebonics troll in English. A teeny tiny bit of Spanish. Not even enough Spanish to have a conversation. So she says she wishes all of you a happy 2026 and whatever it is that your heart desires. And she wrote that specifically. This brush is a Sigma brush. So you recipe a brush. Thank you. I don't like this at all. This is a Sigma brush. It says soft blend concealer. This is so friggin' pokey. Like even doing this, I'm just like, I need to just throw it away. Or should I do a giveaway? This is a shitty ass brush. It is, and all of my brushes are synthetic, as I mentioned earlier. My skin does not tolerate natural hair brushes, and all my brushes are like super soft. Even the Real Techniques ones, like these are super. This, I did like it for putting on primer, and I think it was this motion I do with concealer that I could feel the bristles poking me. But I did like it for eye primer and for the paint pot, so that's why I kept it. But using it like this for concealer, I could feel the bristles like just poking me in my skin. This eye keeps tearing. And this is the one where this is darker, and I do think it is because of the tearing. Because this side didn't get darker or wider, but this one did. Yeah, so for primer and shadow base, the paint pots, this is cool. But when I use it for, that shit, no. And I'm glad I only got one. You know what? It was a gift with purchase. I do want to throw it away because I'm sitting, even like, it's that's my makeup trash bag. Because I'm looking at my face like, girl, why are you even keeping it? Even if though you like it for primer, like why? So this one, y'all, if y'all remember when Sephora had those silver ferrule brushes, that's how old this is. This has to be over like 20 years old. And it is their number 52. And y'all see, look, it's fading off. It says something stippling concealer, number 52. I think I might have used it for primer and eyeshadow base. The way you looked at like a stranger walking into a conversation. I don't like this at all. I think that might be the look I had on my face, Skinny Queen, when I was telling you at Academy, when I was sitting there talking to this dude, and we were having like a private conversation, and this other dude walked up and stood there, and I was like, and later on, the dude I was talking to, he was like, yeah, I wanted to tell you, fix your face. And I was trying to keep my face neutral, but I kind of wonder if I was like I was looking at that brush. Hey, Michelle. I did wonder. I was looking, and I saw myself, and I'm like, girl, throw it away, because you looking all sorts of crazy, like, this fucking brush. But this one, and this is what I'm saying about the Sigma ones. Why the hell are you shedding and falling apart in less than a year? I've had this brush probably at least a good 20 years, and it ain't nothing wrong with it at all. Ironically, though, they're black handle ones. I did buy a few. I returned them. I didn't like them. These right here, now fix your face. I can't. Yeah, and I was like, because he kept talking, because I kept looking at him and looking at the dude, thinking like, okay, are we going to continue this private, like, intense conversation, or are we going to, like, kind of, like, subtly switch gears? And so I was looking at him for cues on, you know, how do I respond? Do I respond like it's still just us, or do I respond like there's this person standing over here? And so I kept looking at the dude, and I'm glancing at the one I'm talking to. And so when I mentioned it to him later, he was like, yeah, I saw you. I wanted to tell you, fix your face. I was like, oh, shit. Because I tried so hard to have a neutral face. He was like, it didn't work. He was like, no, I wanted to tell you, fix your face. But this one I do like for blending out eye primer and for putting on shadow base. It does say it's a concealer brush. And so this is what I was saying. Use a brush for, and this doesn't feel pokey at all. Use a brush for that, for whatever you want to use it for. And so that's here. So this one, y'all, talking about old Sephora brushes, the silver handle brushes. They had the silver handle, and then they had the black handle with the silver ferrule. Now the whole thing is just black. This is older than this one. This, man, and this is, and that's what I'm saying. A good brush will last you. And y'all know I've been using my brushes. This one, what does it say? This one, I promise I can read. It's a cream shadow brush, number 25. I do like this one also. When I was using, I didn't use cream shadows a lot because I really didn't care for cream shadows. But for, and that's why it's in here, in this center one, which is for primer, face primer, eye primer, shadow bases. And so I like it for that. And you can also use it for concealer. You can use it for whatever you want to use it for. Put your concealer, whatever, whatever. So that's in here. These are all Real Techniques brushes. I purchased more during a sale when I realized how much I liked them for the oil-based and the cream makeup. It's the numbers. Where you, yeah. Yeah, I thought I thought I had a neutral face, and he was like, "You didn't." I'm like, "Damn," because I was trying real hard. I don't always realize my expressions. I can imagine it wasn't good. I thought I was controlling it, Alexandria. So to hear that I wasn't, I'm just like, "Oh shit!" But the thing is, the dude still just stood there. So I'm just like, if I would have walked up and had a face like, I would have walked away. Like, why? If you looking at me like I'm gonna walk, he ain't going nowhere. But then I will say this too. The person I was talking to, we were people of color. We pick up on stuff like that, and we know those looks where other cultures and ethnicities may not. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just going to guess that's what it was. My face and apparently body language tells it all. I have a shirt that says I'm not responsible. No, it's a meme with the maid from the Jeffersons, and like she's leaning over the thing looking out, and underneath it says I'm not responsible for what my face does when you speak or something. And I have a shirt that says something like that too. You bought a bunch of refer brushes when you first got into shadow. I don't use any of them. Oh man, I remember a lot of people are hyped still for refer. Really, people always sing. Yeah, Tanya, right? People talking about something. Hey Pam, how are you? Is this the Pam from back in the day, Pam? Or are you a new Pam? Either way, I'm glad you're here. We're talking about brushes. So I purchased more of these, and I don't care, like, a few of them, this one in particular, like some of these hairs are sticking up. These were like $5. Like, I don't care. But if you charge me Sigma prices and them shit is shedding, it's the problem. But, hey, Grace. And so you are not late. We only went through eyeliner brushes so far, this pack, and now we're over here for that container. So we have 2 different brushes in here. Some of them, I know I was going to drop one trying to hold them all in my hand. All right, so all we have, I pulled the muscle. We have the 200. Y'all see me use this all the time for foundation. And this is what I'm saying, Jan. When you're like, you only use 2 brushes, I always seem to use this brush for foundation. I have 4 of them in here. So we're going to put 3 of them away and just talk about one. It did stain a tiny bit. These were like $5. And I bought more when they were on sale. So like, I don't care if they're like inexpensive brushes. But it's crazy that these are lasting way longer than them damn Sigma ones. I don't even use those Sigma ones. It was the foundation brushes. And I need to probably just throw them away because I really do not use them because I'm just so turned off by it. The foundation ones anyway. And all of these, why did I get an ad? Because it's probably, monetization is probably turned on. And y'all did tell me monetize some of the live streams and y'all would watch it because y'all ain't want to mess up my money. I'm going to just leave that right there. These are all number 200. Actually, I'm wrong. This is the number 200 from Real Techniques. I love the orange handle ones. They have purple and whatever other color. This is 200. This is the 210 brush. Because we did talk about the ad thing in the live stream, and y'all were like, no, go ahead and monetize some of them. And this is the 210. I love these for the cream paints and for the oil-based paints. And so I bought more. And I have, I think, like at least 6 of these in my kit and at least 5 of these in my kit for when I do the creams and the paints. So I love, this says, what does it say? This says Expert Face Brush. I love this, y'all. This is the one y'all see me use every time I put on foundation. This is the one. And excuse me, I do have 4 of them, but this is the one. And I also like this for, as I said, the cream paints, even cream makeup, like those Makeup Forever palettes that I have. These fit perfectly, like in those little squares to do your blush, your highlighter, your bronzers. You can contour. These, I love these brushes. But since I don't do a lot of the cream stuff, this is what you'll see me use every single time that I do foundation. And I like it because even if I did have hair here, this would still come right outside of where, because this is my brow bone. Like, and again, it's this, the shape of your face. Like this, you know, there's other brushes I used to use that were bigger. I would have to be real careful around here because y'all know I do my brows first. But this one, it just comes right here. I turn it sideways when I come down the middle for foundation. But this brush, and it's soft. Like this brush. This brush. And the 210, y'all see me use this for eye primer and for shadow base. I think it's a concealer brush. What does it say? Expert concealer brush. You can use it for whatever you want to use it for. And thank you, Skinny Queen, because now I'm going to keep thinking about that. You can use this for contouring as well. And if you contour around your lip or whatever. Or even spot conceal. But this is the one that you always. I was going to sing a line from Always and Forever, but my singing voice isn't right today. I could feel it in my throat. And I forget who sings that song, Always and Forever. Y'all, that's the old jam from what, like the 70s, the 60s, Always and Forever, I love you, da, 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 da. And I forget who even sings that darn song. Anyway, Tanya, you know who sings that song. Who sings that song, Always and Forever? Always and forever, I'll always be with you. Something I can't explain. Yada 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 yada. It is really good. Good price for the money. And they have sets of these at TJ Maxx and at Marshalls. Old Set always has sales. They're in drugstores and they have coupons and stuff. But I love this for eye primer, the shadow base, heat wave. That sounds familiar. You might be right. Tanya know her songs, y'all. That's why I always be asking her when I think of a song. Like, who sing it? But I love this for that. And it's inexpensive. Y'all see how many I got. So we're down both of these already. And so even though I'm saying what I like a brush for, use it for whatever you like to use it for. Kind of off topic, but I didn't even bring my sponges over here because I seldom use them. I always use them on clients. No. 7 out of 10 times I use them on clients, excuse me for smacking. But I seldom use it for myself. It's just weird. Trying for the first time wasn't for you because you tried to blend it and ended up mixing no matter what I tried. The first time, excuse me, hi Power, how are you? Oh man, it was horrendous. When I restarted my YouTube channel, everybody's like, oh, you need to use a sponge, you need to use a sponge. So I'm like, oh my God, I need to use a sponge. So I went and used a sponge. And y'all see when I do my concealer, right? Y'all see when I do concealer, I do a tiny dot, a tiny dot, a tiny dot, right? I took that sponge to blend it. All it did was lift it off my face. And I'm just like, what's the big deal with these sponges? Like, oh, we have to wet it and then, wring it out. I did that. Because some people use them dry depending on what you're using it for. Sometimes use it wet depending on what you use it for. And so what I realized was, and I showed it in a video. And that it just, because I only do the 3 little dots. And it just pulled it right off my face. And they do absorb product. And what I realized was like 10 years later, is that sponges will blend, but if you only use a little bit of product, it's going to absorb that product, and that's what it was doing. And so when I thought about it, like 10 years later, people who do the triangle with their concealer, okay, it works for them because they have a whole lot of product, but just one dot, it just pulled it right off my face, and I was pissed. Hey, Charlene, how are you? I don't want to put on more just for it to be sucked up in the sponge. Like, what's the... And I like how it looks when I do the 1 dot, 1 dot, 1 dot. So, like, why change that? I'm not going to put on more just for the sponge to eat it. Like, to me, that doesn't make sense. But for people who do use more concealer, yes, it does work. And that's why it works with... when I use it for foundation. And if I use it on someone for foundation, I'll also use it for their blush, their highlighter, their bronzer. I'll just use a different part of the sponge. And then I usually have it on a palette that's this size. So I'll have like the blush here, the bronzer here, the highlighter here, the foundation here, the contour there. And so I'll just use different sides of the brush. The sponge. And because I'm using different sides of the sponge, it does blend it and it doesn't blend it together. And so, but that's something I had to learn because if you just doing 1 dot, 1 dot, 1 dot, it just pulled it right off my face. And I'm like, why the hell people saying I need to use a sponge? Like, this, it ain't doing nothing. But yeah, I had to pay attention to who was saying it and why and how they did their makeup. And so all of this goes back to do what works for you. Everything doesn't work for everybody, and everybody doesn't do makeup the same way. If you want sheer application, use a sponge. I feel my application is sheer anyway. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think I put on excess. I think I am back to putting on too much eye primer. But yeah, it didn't work for me at all back then. But now it will, because now I know if I'm using more product, then yeah, it'll work. If I'm using just a tiny bit of product, it's just going to take it off my face. And so yeah, I get what you're saying, Skinny Queen. Excuse me. You like sponges but prefer brushes. Yeah, it was like weird to go. It just straight pulled it off my face. Yeah, I'm not going to put on more just to take it off. Like, no. If you want to share application, use a sponge. And I don't really feel like, even for clients, I don't think I get any different look as far as sheer or not sheer application. I do think, I want to say I think the blend looks better, especially if I'm using cream foundation, cream blush, cream bronzer, cream highlight. I think it flows better. But even using brushes for myself, once I put everything on, it looks fine. You know what I mean? So I think it's just whatever in that moment when I'm working with clients, because I'll use brushes and sponges for clients. Oh, Happy New Year to you too. I'm hoping it is, because with this administration, it's just crazy. It's just crazy. But I do get what you're saying, Tanya, because it will absorb some of the product. And so that's going to shear it out because it's eating some of the product. If you're working with a thick foundation or cream, it'll help it look not heavy. Yeah, because it'll pull some off your, yeah, because it absorbs some. And some people use a dry sponge. That definitely absorbs. But a wet sponge will too. Thank you for sharing that, Dash. Hope you feel better. Thank you, Jay. JP. Thank you, Janet. I don't know which one you deleted, but I'm getting ready to delete one. Actually, let's put them on a timeout. Because if he having issues like that, he need to go to the doctor and not come over here. I'm not that kind of doctor. It wasn't necessarily thick. I will say that even though the Makeup Forever feels like it's thick, it's really not. Because when I scoop it out and put it on a palette, it's not really thick. But mentally, I always think it's thick because it's a cream, but it's not thick. And the MAC foundation I use is not thick cream either. Oh my gosh. All right, let me put this other person on a timeout. This is what happens when I go back and look at the comments. I'm going to remove your Skinny Queen just so we can keep flowing with the conversation if anybody is reading the chat for the replay. Janet busy tonight. Thank you, Janet. I'm going to have to pay more attention. Okay, so I think we're all caught up and we're all good as far as the comments. Okay, this eye is still tearing. All right, y'all, we're going to get into this beast. We're going to start in the back. And I really do think I'm going to throw these... Yeah, Jan, I think I need to send you a Penzies gift card. You use Penzies, right, Janet? I need to send you one. Do you use Penzies, Janet? These are the Signal ones. All right, let me write a note. I still got 2 gift cards left. The last sale, I didn't buy any. I have 2 left. I used one for me the other day, last week. Let me write a note. I'm gonna send you one, Janet, because you're working hard. We do the barter system over here. We don't pay money, but we give gifts. Hello, Ace of Spades. You were here before, weren't you? You look for your name sounds familiar. How are you? Janet Pinzey's gift card. So that leaves us one for a giveaway. I want to say the Eternal Beauties giveaway is over. There were no entries, so no winners. I'll probably just put it in my Macari store. Pinzey's gift card. All right, so I made a note, Janet. So I'm going to leave that out so I'll see it. These, I'm going to show y'all and then just hold up one of each. Oh, I got 3 of these? 4 of these? Oh, shit. I got 4. I got 4. By the way, you timed out someone you had removed from ever returning. Okay. You know I trust your judgment. It's like whatever. Yeah. The hell? So I do have 4 of these. I tell y'all, when I like a brush, I get more. And looking at them now, it's looking like some of them are stained. So why is this one this color? I think that, I don't know what's the right color. Or maybe it just looks like that because of the lighting. I don't know. But we're going to put 3 of these down. These are the highlighter brushes. And actually say highlighter brushes. I have 2. We're going to put one away. These 3. Hey, Wildwater, how are you? Yeah, that was really random, Janet. I was just like, what is happening? These are they say they're foundation brush. I mean, no, they don't. I'm lying. This is the F08 precision powder brushes. These are the ones, I didn't like it for powder under eye because it was depositing too much powder. I found that I love these for foundation. So there was a time where you always saw me use this for foundation, and these are super soft, but these are the ones that started shedding. And every time I would wash them, they're shedding. And I'm just like, these brushes cost too much. I did get them during sales. I don't even use them at all anymore. I don't like them for powder, as I said, because for under eye, it was putting down too much powder. You like these for foundation too? I don't use them at all now because I'm just not feeling it because of their response. So I'm telling you, these brushes are falling apart. They're staining and shedding, and you're like, well, they're still usable. So that's not in line with our 2-year guarantee. Just like, really, it is an odd day today. You would think it was a Thursday. What is today? Is it Thursday today? Today's Tuesday. And somebody gonna be like, no, it is Thursday. It's an odd day today. Yeah. The first time it was bad like this, it was on a Thursday. And so we dubbed it Thursday. Or sometimes when Janessa's here, she'll be like, I hope it's not a Thursday. And y'all probably like, girl, it's a Monday or a Tuesday. But that's our term for wacky, not so good trolls. When it's a lot of them, we call it Thursday. It is not Friday. Oh, you know what it might be? Oh, shit, it is Friday. And I'm all happy like it's Tuesday. Oh my gosh, it is the 2nd of January, 2nd day in the new year, and I'm already forgetting. Like, I tell you, I don't know what day of the week it is half the time. So when I remember things like Michelle Keene's, her middle name is Charlene, I'm just like, how I remember that, but I don't know what day of the week it is. Like, it just boggles my mind. So happy early birthday. Oh my gosh. So I don't use these at all. And so I need to give them a home because when I look at them, I'm just like, those motherfuckers. But I love them. And so they are a little bit stained. Yeah, I'm just, oh my gosh. But yeah, I need to do something with them because I'm just not feeling it because of their response to that. And even though I do like their other brushes I have, I'm like, maybe we'll do a Sigma brush giveaway. So we're not going to talk about these. It says they're for powder, but I love them for foundation. But every time I washed them, they started to shed, and it was like long hairs here and there. And I'm just like, so I stopped using for foundation because I figured because it is a powder brush, maybe something is with it where just don't use cream or powder or liquid. Well, not powder, cream or powder with it. You're welcome. He was about to say that they putting in your makeup. Oh, what are they putting in the makeup? You're gonna ask not a Tuesday. Celebrate all month. So this is actually their highlighter brush, and it does say it's a highlighter brush, and actually it says high cheekbone highlighter, and I do use it for highlighter. But you could also still use it for powder, use it for whatever it works for you for. But I do actually use this for highlighters. It's surprising to me because I just use a brush for whatever. But y'all need to figure out what to do with those. This one is the F11 Soft Sculpt. Bruce. Excuse him, y'all. I do like this for powder. I believe this is supposed to be for contour, since it says Soft Sculpt. But I feel like I use it for blush instead of contour. And you can see my contour. It's like right here. Anyway. But I feel like I use this for blush and not for contour. But use a brush for whatever way it works for you. But that's what I usually do it for. Doesn't hurt to give those gentle reminders. Gentle reminders for what? My other Sigma brushes is in the next compartment. These two, I don't use these either. So I need to do something with these. This is the F48 Soft Coverage. This is their foundation brush. And it does work really well for that. It also works really well for, let me put down the one I didn't put on my face. And it also works really well for cream products, especially, excuse me for those glares, those Makeup Forever palettes I have, because this fits right in there. So these work really well for creams. It works really well, you know, for foundations. But because it's so short, where's the one I use for foundation? This is, I use this one for foundation. And you see it's almost the same size, but these soap and water, right? Rinse it out. I have space to squeeze the soap and water out. This one I don't, because when I squeeze it, like that's the whole that's the whole brush. And so it takes me a long time to get out foundation or cream product that might be in here. And I do believe one or both of them is stained, and it's like right in the center. And so I don't use it much because I'm not able, I don't feel like I'm able to get all the soap and water out, because once I squeeze it, that's the whole brush. And I think it's maybe just the shape of it because it's an angle, because when I squeeze the Real Techniques, like there's still space for me to wiggle. And that's why I say I'm hard on my brushes when I clean them. Sorry for the clink. And so if they're going to fall apart, it's going to fall apart when I'm cleaning it. The Real Techniques, there's not a ferrule to hold, but brushes that have a ferrule, I will hold the ferrule before I squeeze and kind of gently wiggle to get the soap and water out. But I don't use these, even though I love them for foundation and for cream, because I don't like the cleaning process. So I'm going to just wash all of these, because I don't remember which ones I touched in my face. I touched them all in my face. So these three and these two is going to go somewhere. Maybe we'll do first winner get the 2 in 1, the other one gets 1 in 1. We'll see. We'll figure that out. I'll do a community tab about that. So those 5 are going somewhere, because I do not use those. I do not. Is this another one? Wait a minute. Oh, no. All of these are F43s. And I did get them all when they were on sale. Did you try squeezing it the other way, like thumb on the pointed side? Ew, and these are jacked up. Thumb on the pointed side? It's still the same thing. And maybe it's because I got big hands. Like, I don't know. But I haven't used them in a long time because I just don't like the cleaning process. First world problems. I don't like the cleaning process. Or the inability to clean them how I want to clean them. First world problem. Y'all see all these damn brushes I got. So it's just like, girl, you complain about that one, but we still got these to go through and all of these, and I'm complaining. First world problems. I do not wear makeup, but my daughter has play makeup, and she cleaned all her brushes and Dawn soaked and set them in the sun until dry. I also use Dawn dish detergent. If I will say this for you, if the handles are wooden, I would say don't soak it in water with Dawn dish detergent, because eventually the water is going to warp that wood, and then it's just going to cause this whole piece to come apart from this piece. And so if the whole thing is plastic, like something like this, like I have no idea what will happen with something like this. But if it's wood in any kind of way, I would say don't soak it in the water, because eventually it's going to warp the wood. But that is really cute. Yeah, Dawn dish detergent. People are like, oh, buy this, buy Cinema Secrets. They want like $40 Cinema Secret. I'm like, excuse me, Dawn dish detergent. You only need a little bit. Works just fine. Um, yeah, and then squeeze the water and the soap out and just sit them, and then they dry really quick. She only soaks that. Oh, okay, cool. Oh, she's way ahead. She already know how to do her brushes. That is so cute. But she doesn't wear makeup outside the house. Okay. I don't think it's too young to play in makeup. I didn't even start playing in makeup, so I was like 34, 35. Hey, Sarah. So we have 4 of these. Apparently, I love them. These are all the F43 from Sigma soft angled cheek brush. So I do think this is a blush brush, and the soft sculpt I think is the contour. But I use this one for blush, and then sometimes for highlight. And this is the one I use for concealer. Hey, Sarah. Did I just say hey, Sarah to you? Oop. I probably read the comment and say hi. But this is the one I use for contour. I don't know why, because I do think this is supposed to be. And again, use a brush for whatever you want it for. And I think it's something with the angle of it that makes me think of the angle of my contour. I think, but I use this for contour. And yeah, so use a brush for however way it works for you. So I could use this for contour. I could use it for blush. I could use the tip of it and use it for highlighter. Like, you can use one brush for everything, and y'all have seen me do that. So we will get to that brush soon. But I do really like this brush. So those are my Sigma brushes. So this one in the middle, these are hodgepodge, because these are not just one brand. So those 2 were Sigmas. This one over here is Scott Barnes, and in the front is just a mix of the eye brushes. But for the face brushes, I do have segregated by brand. So we have 2 of these. These are from Lethal, so I'm going to put one away. Blend Bunny, I don't know if it was buy one, get one, or 50% off or whatever. So I'm like, oh, I'll try it, because it looked like it was going to fit in the Hourglass palette. So I got 3, and one of them like broke like the 3rd time I washed it. And actually it was this one. And I can tell because I could see the roughness from the glue when I glued it back together. I don't know if y'all can see it. Right? And I could feel it. Now here, that's the glue. So I was disappointed, but I was glad I got it. I think they might have been like $5.50 a piece or something like that. And so I wasn't upset. But I'm just like, if I would have paid full price for these, they are like super soft. I have 3, so we're going to put 2 away. I'll keep holding that one since that's the one I touched to my face. It is really soft. This brush feels so nice. I got her brushes at Walmart, the crystal brushes that were $22 for 2, but I got her the 3-pack because each brush was for something different, and she had them over 2 years now. Exactly, just like the Real Techniques brushes, they do not cost a lot, and that's why, again, that shit with Sigma pissed me off, because y'all cost money. I got them on sale, but I'm surprised I quit that. But just the principle. But this is really soft. I don't use it that much. I don't know why. Maybe subliminally because they were falling apart like the 3rd time I washed them. But this is like super soft. This will give you, this for me was good for setting powder, because I use a loose setting powder, because it is a loose brush. It's not, even this is more dense than that, but this is just super loose, super fluffy, even though it doesn't look like it. And this is rather dense too, the one I use for contour. So I think that's why I don't use this much, but this one would be good for loose powder, because it is just really loose. It's just really loose. Or maybe for powder foundation, this might be good for it, but I seldom use it. So I'm wondering now, like, it is skinny green, it is super soft. So I'm wondering now if I want to give these away too, because I don't remember when I last used them. But it is super soft. So maybe we'll do another brush giveaway. This is super soft. Like, I'm just like, this is nice. Making sure I'm not missing. So now I'm wondering, like, should I? Because I got enough brushes. Y'all know I got enough brushes. After a month, I'll forget I even had it. Brush the screen. You want to feel it. How was that? And I did it like a dingbat. When she hits teenage years, I'm going to be scared. Like, I know everything's going to be triple the price with makeup. There's always sales, right? Skinny Queen, it was soft. There's always sales or like coupon codes or something. This is soft. I'm gonna give these away. I just decided. So I'm putting all three of these. I'm gonna wash all these. I'm gonna wash these three again. I'm gonna wash all of these again. Let them dry, and I'll say maybe next week I'll do a community tab. Actually, no, we'll just do a giveaway. It'll just be in a video. We have three of these, and two of these, and so there'll be two winners. Somebody will get two of these, or we could do three. Should I do two winners or three? Because three people, they each can get one of each of these, and then the first winner and the second winner, they'll also have this added to it. Or just do two winners, and it'll just be like this. Cerise says, Skinny Queen, you say that because you don't gotta pay for shipping. And y'all know all of my giveaways are open international, so if somebody overseas wins, I do pay for that too. Wild water. I'm gonna do this right now. Wild water for your daughter. If you think that she would like these brushes, and as I said, I'm gonna wash all of these. If you think she would like these brushes, my email is in the description box. Email me and I'll send you these three for your daughter. And remind me who you are and where you saw me. Because I'll be like, who this person? Messaging me to my brushes. I don't know you. Giving you that. But if you think that she would like these wild water, email me and I'll send these three to you. I need to write a note in case you do email me, because I'll be like, what are they talking about? So that'll be two winners for the giveaway if Wild Water doesn't want those for their daughter. Another Sarah? Hey, Sarah. So we got two Sarahs in here tonight? You homeschool your kids, I hope Walmart brand stay in her category. I don't know if you, well, these ain't Walmart. Real Techniques brushes, I mentioned them earlier. You can get these from Ulta. They're in drugstores. And they have different color ones. I prefer the orange ones, but they have sometimes a set of brushes where it might be not as inexpensive as the ones you got, but it might be like $7 for like 9 brushes or something. But Real Techniques are really good brushes too. So that's always another option. They have eye brushes, face brushes. Sometimes they're in sets. Also TJ Maxx and Marshall sells them. All right, so let me write this note. I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. Thank you very much. In my early 20s, the little girls were obsessed with little. I must have missed that. I am like so out of it. So what was that? Wild Water. So I'm just making a note in case you do email me and I won't be like, what? I'm just making a note for myself. So that's what we'll do. She has about 20 brushes right now, which is overkill. Okay. Oh, okay. She might grow up and be like me with like, oh. I got so many brushes. Okay, I'll cross out that note. Back when Skinny Green was 39. Okay, so these two. This is a lethal brush. It says, what does it say? It says bronzer brush. I use this for loose powder to set my face, and I use it for the hourglass powder when I'm using the single compact, because y'all know them suckers is like this big. And so this, I can do my entire face like super fast because it's a big brush. And so I love this for that. Should I see her being just like, oh no. Yeah, I call myself a brush hoe and a Penzies hoe, and I used to be a chapstick hoe, but now I'm a lip oil hoe. And what else? I'm another hoe. I'm a label hoe. Yeah, I'm all sorts of hoes. But excuse me, that's what I use this for. If I'm being lazy, you know, I could use it for contour because it is tapered. And so I could just use it for contour and then use the side of it for blush and use the tip of it for highlighter. But I tend to just use this for overall powder, even though what I say is that it says it's a bronzer brush. But you can use a brush for whatever you want to use it for. This one, this was gift with purchase. This is from Sigma, and this says large powder, F30. This one, I use it for the same purpose. Yo, and I know I got a big ass forehead. Look at this brush. It is like the perfect width between my brows and my forehead for powder. And then I use the tip of it to come along the side of my face. So I use this for setting powder and also for the hourglass powders. I haven't used this in a super long time. What was that container you had your brushes in? I got hers in a wooden box, and you need an upgrade. I'm wondering if I should give this away too. I think I've used the lethal ones before the last time I remember using this one. And I don't use the lethal ones often because they stain. And so when I do use it, I'll use the one that stains. Like, you see the difference. It's just like, girl, like, like, that is ridiculous. And so when I do grab for one, I'll use this one since it's already stained. But I don't remember. I'm gonna show you the containers. Well, what I didn't forget. The lethal ones are softer. This is soft though. We'll put this in the giveaway too. I just don't remember when I last used it, and it was gift with purchase, and it is a nice brush. Keep in mind, if you have a smaller face than me, if you have a more slim face, this will be too big for you. Because, like, look at this damn thing. This thing is friggin' huge, unless you just use the tip of it, but it's not tapered really, and so it's still. I think it still might be too big if you have a smaller face. Purple shampoo after the dawn wash. It may bring. I don't use purple shampoo. And I washed my hair actually this morning when I took a shower before going to bed, and it doesn't even take much because I keep my hair cut real short. Yeah, I'm gonna give this one away too. So this will be another one to wash. It is soft though. I just don't ever. That's one in the giveaway ball. I just don't use it. Containers. This container I found at Marshall's, and this was $7.99, and it has 3 compartments in it. So these are my eyeliner brushes, and she might could just use one. I'm trying to get the glare off because you said she has 20 brushes, and this was empty, so I put my mascaras in here. And this was $8 at Marshall's. This one, I forget where I got this big one from. I forgot where I got this big one from. This is one container. This was one container. They came in a 2-pack from Target. And I kept the paper. The brand is Threshold. Oh, you know what this isn't? This is table lamps. That's for the lamps that's over there. Okay, forget that. I don't remember where I got these from. I do believe I got these from Target though, and they had different colors. Some of them, the bottom was like a sea foam color. Some of the bottom was pink, but I like the ones that were black. And so they fit perfectly in here. I don't remember where I got this from. It has the 4 containers in the back. Well, actually, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it's all this space up here. And so you can put whatever you want to put in here. I was really excited that these fit perfectly in here for me, but your daughter wouldn't need all of that space. Or if you found something like this, she can put her makeup stuff in the front maybe. And because I had extra space here, I put my lip liners in there. And so that's how I store my brushes. All right, so we're on this last one in the back. Also, yeah, sometimes Ross. I'll be forgetting about Ross. You get mine from Marshall, says Skinny Queen. Hey, Kim. My look great in every hat, friend. Me and Kim got history. She loves my shoulders. I love how she looks in hats. How are you today? Okay, Sarah, I'm putting you on a timeout because that was just very, like, not what this is about. What the hell? They were so cool in the beginning. Hi, Kisha, I'm sorry. And I'm sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. Yeah, that was very random. If she was cool earlier, or him, whoever it was. Um, that was weird. Um, gotta keep your eye on these people. Oh, thank you. Happy New Year to you too. So this is the last one. These are my Scott Barnes brushes. I got 2 of these, so I'm gonna put one away. These look the same. Oh, they are the same. These are from Sephora, so I'm gonna put one away. 2 of these, put one away. So I lied. These are all not Scott Barnes. The reason I keep thinking this is Scott Barnes has a brush that is shaped like this. It's thinner and it's flimsy as hell. Do not buy that brush. Do that shit. I couldn't even use it for loose powder. It was just way too loose and too thin. But because of the shape, I keep thinking this is Scott, but it's not. This is Sephora. The silver ferrule handle, y'all. So we're gonna put that away. So this is Scott Barnes. I seldom use this one, but I'm not getting rid of it. I think I got rid of one in the giveaway that we did. You missed one? Oh, that was just really random. The size of the brush you used for powder when you were younger. Oh, the memories. So this one, it doesn't say anything. It has his name on it and a number, but this is supposedly their contour brush, which is kind of cool because you can just do this and your contour is done. If you want to feather it upward, you can. I have a video when I first got these. I have a brush playlist. I have a playlist for everything, and I showed the different ways to use them. And so I use it for contour, and then I use the side of it to place my blush, and then I turned it over and used this part of it to do like my highlighter. And again, you can use brushes for whatever you want to use them for, but I do really like this brush, and the shape of it makes it like super easy. It's something that he did, which I don't know if it really matters or not, but he matched up some of the shapes. This is one of his eyeshadow brushes, so it's the same shape as this powder brush, but this is supposedly the contour brush. But again, use brushes for whatever you want to use them for. I don't use it often. I did give away the other one when we did the Scott Barnes giveaway, but I kept this one. I seldom ever use it though, like seriously. And then when I use it, I'm like, wow, how come I don't use it more often? Yeah, right? Like right along here and just, and when I do use it, that's what I use it for. I use it for contour, but I haven't used it in I don't know how long, but I'm not getting rid of it though. This one, Sephora, when it has the black handle, I mean the silver ferrule. This one is also great for contouring. It's wiggling. Is this one wiggling? This one's not wiggling. This one, I can feel it. It's loose. Oh, yeah, it's wiggling. Excuse me for the glare. I can feel it moving. Do I just want to break it and then just go ahead and glue it? I'm going to leave this out. I think I'm going to break it and glue it. This is called their Demi Fan Brush. Number 72. Oh, this is, that's tacky looking. So to me, I'd rather just glue it because then the glue dries clear. This one, I've had this a long time though. And I seldom use it. Do I want to just get rid of it? Because I still have this one. Maybe I'll just toss it. Y'all, I might break it and glue it. I don't use them that often. But anyway, this is great for contour because of the shape of it. Use some duct tape. This is great for contouring. When I did this, eye is still tearing. When I would use it for contouring, I would just come along and then turn it around, come down here, and just come around. Like this brush, and it is really soft. This is great for contouring. And you could use the side of it for your blush, or use it for your bronzer, whatever you want to use the brush for. But yeah, this brush is really soft. I don't need to figure out. Honestly, I think I'm end up just throwing it away. And I think I did try to break it before to glue it. It don't want to break though, but it wants to jiggle. Oh, I can hear the glue loosening. I need to just do this later because I'm seriously trying to just break it. Y'all see this moving? This hand is still. Look at this is really, but it's not. It don't want to come apart. I'm gonna leave that out. I'm gonna do something with that. I'll probably just throw it away, to be honest with y'all. This one, Scott Barnes, y'all see me use this all the time. This one has a number, has his name on there and a number 64. Y'all see me use this on a lazy day. I set my under eye. Well, no, I don't. I use it to set setting powder for my face. Tap the powder on, swirl it around, blend it out. Then I'll take my bronzer or my contour. I use bronzer and contour interchangeably. Do that, put some here, come around here, do up here. Then I'll take it for my blush, and I'll use the sides of it, place the blush, and then I'll use the tip of it, put on my highlighter. Then I'll take my Hourglass finishing powder, put that all over under the eyes and all over my face. Like this is a brush, this size brush for me. I use it for everything. Who is the person you are having a collab with? Sons of Ray. I do have Gorilla Glue, excuse me. I do have Gorilla Glue. I need to, that's why I was going to break it and then just glue it. But it don't want to break. And I can hear the glue loosening every time I, well, not every time, but y'all. And what's funny though is that damn Sigma brush. But here I am trying to friggin' break it. And it's like, no, we're just going to wiggle. We're not going to break. That brush will break. So this one, y'all see me use this a lot for all the powders all over my face. This brush right here. Excuse me, I heard that in my throat. And I do have 2 of these. Yeah, I do have 2 of these, but use this for everything. She looks like someone you've watched. I missed what Melissa said. Oh, wow. I missed a lot. I don't know. Am I reading the name wrong? Oh, and I'm thinking Melissa was here. She's not here. That's who you're doing a collab with. I'll post about it again in a minute. Doing a collab. Okay. I got it. I thought I was missing somebody. This one, I call this the moon pie face brush. This shit is freaking huge. It's like bigger than my damn eye. This brush, if you have a smaller face than mine, this is not going to work for you. This brush is a friggin' beast. And sometimes it takes up to 48 hours, up to 2 days to dry because it is very dense. This brush, Scott Barnes number 67, and it is so soft. Oh my gosh, it is so soft. This I love for the Hourglass finishing powders because this eye does not want to stop tearing. I want that brush hard. I got it when I purchased all of them when they were on sale. And he just had, was it 40% or 30% off? He just had a sale a couple weeks ago. Of course, I didn't shop it because I was on my no buy, but full price, this is $50. Oh, hell to the no. And I did have 3 of them. One of them I put in a giveaway. And all 3 of them I purchased either on a 30% off or 40% off sale. I'm not spending $50 for a brush. Even though I will say it is worth it. It is definitely worth it. But I was just like, no. And I ended up, the second one I purchased because it takes so long for the first one to dry. And so I'm like, if I want to use it the next day, I'm not going to be able to. Surprisingly, why are you looking like that? Surprisingly, the last time I washed it, it did dry like in a day and I was surprised. Hi, Nicole. But this is good for, and it does fit in the Hourglass compact, the full size compact. And y'all, this right here, whole face is powdered. You're done with finishing powder. I love this brush for that. And it is just so friggin' soft, like this brush. But if you have a small face, this is going to be too big for you because it's just like the sucker, this thing is huge. It's like a fist. It's the size of a fist in your eye. But you can't buy right now. I'm on a no buy. That's a good thing, Tanya. That's a good thing. But yeah, this brush right here. So that's all the face brushes, foundation brushes, eyeliner brushes for upper lash line. Now we're going to move up here to the front. We're going to start with the brushes I use for eyeliner for upper lash line. Then we're going to move over to shader brushes. And then we're going to come over here to blending brushes. And then we'll be done. I got a lot of freaking brushes. I'm excited for your no buy, Tanya. How long are you doing it for? I had miscalculated. And I remember saying Locke and I were on a 3-month no buy. We started November 25th. And for some reason, I kept saying we were done March 25th. But the other day, I'm like, wait a minute. 3 months would have been February 25th. Because December, January, February. But for some reason, okay, we're starting in November. I was saying January, February, March. Like I just skipped over November. And so we decided though to still keep going till March 25th because that was in both of our heads anyway. And so, all right, so we're gonna start with blending brushes. You hope, Tanya, if you set your mind to it, you can do it. I'll just say that. So these are all of my blending brushes. Hi, my name is Dion. I'm a brush whore. So I'm going to take out the duplicates. I have 3 of these from Esom. So we're going to put one of those away. I only have 1 of these, y'all, and I slept on that one. We have 3 of these from Hourglass. So we're going to put 2 of those over there. Unless my gourmand girls call it a siren. Well, I'll say this, because for our no-buy, we allowed ourselves 1 exception per month. 1 purchase, 1 product per month. So not like, oh, 1 purchase and you order 5 things. 1 purchase, 1 product per month. So you can give yourself an exception. And I used all of my exemptions, excuse me. I used all of my exemptions. So when 669 comes out, I'm going to have to wait, and hopefully it'll be available in April. Or at least March 26th. I could buy it. But yeah, we allowed exemptions because we didn't want to set ourselves up to fail. We were like, what if that one thing comes out and we just lose control, and then we didn't want to feel like shit or that we failed. And so that's why we put in the exemptions. And so you could do that for yourself as well. 1 product, 1 purchase. And last time we did a no-buy, we didn't even use our I keep wanting to say exceptions. Our last no-buy, we didn't even use our exemptions. I used mine this time. And so not long, what is the goal of the no-buy? For me, the goal of the no-buy was to change my thinking about purchasing stuff, to be more conscious and more aware of, okay, why do I want something? And I've been on a perpetual low-buy for a while anyway, but a no-buy is like nothing. No skincare, no makeup, nothing. And so for me, it's to continue to change my mindset about shopping. And it's been very relaxing for me, actually. And I remember saying, I'm not even going to post sell stuff on my community tab, which might not have been a wise thing because, I've been told if somebody's going to buy something, they're going to buy it, whether it's like my link or my code or not. But it was just, it's been relaxing to not have to keep up with that, because every day I'm getting emails for sales and I just delete them instead of like, okay, let me take a screenshot, okay, then let me crop it, and then let me post it, oh, and let me put my link there, and da 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 da. So it's just been really just relaxing to not even deal with any of that. And so I'm like, if I'm not buying, I'm not going to post. And people buy or they won't buy, but I don't want to be a situation where somebody's like, oh my gosh, they're having a sale. But some people will buy stuff just because it's on sale. And so I didn't want to be a part of that reasoning, if that is what it was. And so for me, it was just to think more analytically about why I wanted stuff. So that was my purpose for us doing a no-buy. And the not buying, we use more of what we have. I did not do a look yesterday, y'all, and I told myself I was going to do one today. It ain't getting done today either. You bought so much last quarter of 2025, and you just started using it for your first video of 26. Gotta use some of that before you add anything else. Yep. Hopefully the habit continues. Hopefully you decide if it continues or not, though, Tanya. You decide that. If you set your mind to it, I know you can succeed, but you have to be resolute. Like, yeah, I'm not going to do it. So just saying, I hope, or maybe, or we'll see. And for me, that's a setup for failure. And so even with the no-buy, it's like we chatted about it, and we're like, okay, and we talked about the terms, and we agreed, and then so it's like, okay, we're going to do it. Period. But the goal is not to go ham either. Because some people will be like, oh, I'm buying more stuff this month, so I'm going on a no-buy next month. And I'm like, for me, that defeats the purpose. Or after the no-buy, they buy a whole bunch of stuff. So I'm like, well, what did you learn? And so I always wonder, like, what was the point, or what did you learn if you want to overconsume before and after? It's like you might as well have not been on it. Yes, and it's your business income if you use it for that. Yeah, we didn't include stuff I bought for the pro side. And yes, Tanya for Sons of Ray, congratulations. You earned that, Sons of Ray. You buy stuff because a lot of people do. Janet said she buys stuff because she wanted. A lot of people do. And not to transfer my makeup buying habits into another area. That is true, because sometimes like, I'm not buying this, so I'll buy that. Yeah. You're welcome, Sons of Ray. And so, back to these brushes. What do I have? I have, I don't use these that often either. I have 2 left of these because I put some in that Scott Barnes giveaway. We have 2 of these Scott Barnes. I think I might have had 4, but I put some of them in the giveaway too. We have, oh, I thought I had 2. I have 3 of these. Y'all see me use these a lot. That's from Esom. Oh boy. Oh, great grief, Charlie Brown. What am I looking at? I have 4. Told you I'm a brush all right. We have 4 of these, and so we're putting 3 of those away. Those are Scott Barnes. Jiminy Crickets. Okay, this is an E49. I keep saying I'm gonna see if Grace wants to trade me her E49s for her E45s, because I really don't care for the E49s just because they're bigger and I prefer the smaller ones. And Grace and I, we do our makeup differently, and she does use bigger, fluffier brushes. So I think it's just these 2 of the E49. So I'm going to put one over there because I do see her use these. Is this another 49? Damn it, I have 3 of those. Fuck. And we have 4 of the E40. Let me look. Let me not speak too soon. 4 of the E45s. Yeah, I have 4 of the E45s. I do use these. These are the ones you see me using for transition. So I'm going to just keep one in my hand for that. And we'll keep one of the E49, and then I'll put that back. And these are just, wait a minute, what? I have 4 of these. We'll put these at Hourglass. I don't use them that much. And I could give those away. So all of these are different. No, wait. Oh, I did have an E49 in my hand. So all of these are individuals. Hourglass is so tidy. This little brush over here. So these are all of my blending brushes, not including all the duplicates that I took out. Duplicates. I got brushes, y'all. It's sure right. It's the long game for sure. And I tell people, unless you're going to do reaction videos, unless you're going to do trending topics for commentary, you're not going to blow up overnight. And I don't want to chase. I don't want to be chasing. You know what I mean? And so I tell people, especially it seem like, I don't know about other communities, but I know gaming is really big. I know commentary is big. Reaction channels are big. But makeup, especially if you like to do tutorials, that they're not popular like they used to be, and I'm waiting for them to become popular again like they were like 20 years ago. I'm not trying to talk anyone out of a no or low buy. I'm curious to understand why makeup specifically is it all everything. Oh, we know that, Janet. Makeup is the one place where I splurge a lot. For me, because I got enough, and yeah. So let's start with Hourglass. I don't use this a lot. I prefer the E45 from Sigma that I'm pissed at because it's tapered. If I did my makeup in a way where do transition and crease first, this will be perfect for that. But y'all know I don't do directly in the crease. I put my lid shade from lash line up to here. So this makes this brush irrelevant for me. But it is a really nice brush. And sometimes I think to get rid of them, but then I'm like, once in a blue moon, I will use this. And as far as just transition shade, I still prefer the E45 because it's tapered and it's thinner. Where even if I just put a shadow here, it's gonna It will blend out well, but it might place a wider line than a thinner brush. And so I haven't gotten rid of these yet. I seldom use them. I got 3 of them. And hourglass is expensive. Y'all see me use this brush all the time from Esom. This one is number something. This is a V31. Y'all see me use this all the time when I'm blending out the top line of my lid shades. I don't know what this brush is for. It just has a number on it. Like, I don't know. But I like it for blending out that line. And I used to use it sometimes for blowing out shadow on my lower lash line because it is a wider brush. It'll blend it and blow it out, meaning make it wider under here. If you wanted to do a thick line and wing it, you can use that for that too. But I usually just use it for like blending out the top line if I'm thinking it's a little harsh for my liking, because sometimes I do like a harsh line. And so I'll just go on the top of the lid shades and just do circular motions like I'm doing now, or I'll just do this just to blend it out, and these work really well for that. Okay. This brush, I slept on this one, y'all. This is the Sephora brush. It's the number 42, and it says Drawing Blending. And this is when I was with that dude, and I told y'all that when I went to check out, she said she didn't have any small bags, and I said, I'll take a big bag. And so as we were leaving the mall, because it was a JCPenney's in the mall, it was on clearance for like $18. It was 50% off. And so I'm like, I'll just get it just to see. And they had more than one, but I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna like it because it's this sucker is tall, even next to all the other blending brushes. These bristles are tall, and like it's really soft. And so I'm like, I don't know, but I'm like, for $18, I'll try it. It being half off. And so when we were leaving Sephora, walking through the mall, which usually Sephora in the mall is usually not far from the door, I had said, and he was a Caucasian guy. He called himself an English mutt. I had said, I'm not getting stopped at security for carrying a $18 makeup brush. And he didn't say anything. And when we got closer to our vehicle, he said, I'm really aware of my white privilege right now. And I'm like, why do you say that? He said, I would have never thought to buy something and just carry it out in my hand and be concerned about, security. I was like, oh, okay. But this brush, I found that I loved it. Because y'all know, for me, the Fenty primer is a tacky primer. It's not tacky for everybody. It's not tacky for Tanya at all. But this brush, when I use that Fenty primer, and y'all see where I'll tap the shadow on, and then I'll go back and blend it. This brush, because of how loose it is, like y'all see how loose this is, I'm able to just take a shadow and just blend it across that Fenty primer. And because it's tapered, even though it's long, I can just use the tip of this brush. And if I did do my crease, which I don't, like, this just fits perfect, and it doesn't feel like anything on my skin. And so I looked online, they didn't have it. And I'm like, fuck. I went in store, because sometimes stuff in store is not online. They didn't have, so like $18. I'm like, I'm gonna get another one because I'm a brush off. I like a brush, I get more. So I only have one. I slept on it. It was on clearance. And by the time I used it and was like, I love it, they didn't have anymore. But this is really good, which it doesn't matter because they don't have anymore. But a brush this size, this width, tapered, is good for your crease and your transition area. And also if you want to buff out your lower lash line and whatever else you want to use it for. So that's what I use that one for. This is Scott Barnes. This brush is a peculiar brush. This brush is a peculiar brush. And it was shaped like this one from Scott Barnes. This one is the one from Sephora though. So these ones he shaped the same, and this one with that eye brush somewhere, he shaped the same. Actually, it's right here. So these two he shaped the same, and these ones he shaped the same. But again, the one I have is Sephora. His brush that's shaped like this for the face is flimsy as hell. I'm like, this is useless. But what I like, it's called Eye Winger. On the brush, it has a number. Online, it has a number and a name. So this one it says Eye Winger. So it's to wing. Yo, this eye just when I stopped tearing. To wing your eyeshadow. But what I use it for I'm trying to remember how they had it on the website. I think they put the shadow on and then just, I don't know what, I forget what they use it for, but what I love it for, what me, Dion the Troll, loves it for, pointy side down, put shadow here, and then just turn the brush. That's my shape. Put the corner in the middle because of how it's shaped. Come out, turn it, boom, and then I have that gives me, and you can see from the shape of my eye because I do just follow the shape of my eye. Like so, this is my shape. This is the shape right here, and I love this brush for that. Corner down, turn it, and then if you want to go in and use the tip of it to blend, which I sometimes do, or use the side of it to blend upward. But this brush, it just makes the look of winged eyeshadow easy for me because this part is going to be, I just now realize you really can see like the shape of my eye because of this puffiness. But like this right here, it's just perfect. Just turn the brush and just, and I have used it for concealer because I'm like, let me just see. And it works for concealer too. And thank you, Skinny Queen. You can use it for contour, your nose. You can use it for whatever you want. You can use it for concealer and the creases of your nose. But this brush, love that brush. This is a random brush, Blend Bunny brush from when they had to sell because they knew that the brushes was trash. And they were like, we're going to do buy one, get one free. If you order two, you get four. Because then they were going to do new brushes, but they didn't want to toss the older ones. And I thought that was really cool that they did that. So I bought some brushes. I'm like, I don't know if this is the last one I got left or what. But why does this have like a long hair hanging out of it? This is some brush. Ooh, okay, now it don't. Yeah, this brush is a blending brush. And all of the brushes were blending brushes, but for me, because of how I do my makeup, I don't do crease and do then transition. So I seldom use this. It is really soft though. But if you do your crease and then you do transition, or even if you do your transition up here high, like I do mine, like this is good for that. But I still prefer the Sigma one because it's tapered, whereas this one is not. But that makes this good for blending. The same as this one, but this one is better because it's more dense. This one is fluffier. And so if I really was having trouble blending out a line, like I don't think this one would do it as well as this one. But it can be used for that and also blending out eyeshadow on your lower lash line. Some people, after they complete their eyeshadow look, they'll take a brush and just blend over the whole eye. That might be good for this too. This is a Scott Barnes number 62. I like it that it's tapered. I don't use it that often though, because I tend to just go for the Sigma E45. But this is good for when I'm doing transition shades, which I do my transition up here. And it is also good for down here. The Esom, don't use this one that often because I prefer the tapered ones, but I'm not getting rid of my Esoms. But same deal, blending brushes. Blend out this area if you do actually in your crease or transition under lower lash line. So the blending brushes to me are pretty just basic. It just depends on, excuse me, like what shape you like best. That's a good tip. I will keep that in mind. Which one? So it depends on like how you prefer to do your makeup because a lot of the ones that shape like this that are not tapered, I don't use them that much. But yet I still like them being here. Like it's not like those face brushes. I'm like, I'll get this away. Like these, I'm like, hell no. This one is also peculiar from Scott Barnes. And when I first got it, I thought it was an eyeshadow brush. And I'm just like, I'm having problems here because of the shape of it. How this piece in the middle, it comes up and then comes down. So I wasn't able to get close to my lash line with the shadow. So I'm like, what the hell kind of brush is this? I have used this for concealer before. It works for that too. And thank you, Skinny Queen. You can use this to contour your nose as well, which makes it easy, especially if you're coming from where your eyebrow is because of the shape of it. You can just come straight down. And I don't contour my nose, but that would be good for that. The same as how this one is good for contouring because of the shape of it. And so I thought it was an eyeshadow brush. Well, it is an eyeshadow brush. I thought it was for the lid. And I'm like, I cannot get close to my lash line. So I looked on his website. They use this for the crease. And I'm like, duh. Because look at the shape of this. If you do your crease, right, look. Right in the crease, no problems. And I'm like, okay, that was very simple. But I don't do my crease. And so I seldom use it. Sometimes I will use it for transition. I'll just use it to put a color up here. To place it, not so much to blend, because it is kind of thin for blending. But yeah, if you do crease shades, this shape of brush will be good for that because it gets right in the socket. The socket is where your crease is. And you see how this just hugs. And because it is rounded, it just hugs. One end of the socket to the other. I was like, duh. I'm trying to use it for as a shader brush. But yeah, this is perfect for that. I seldom use it because I don't do my makeup that way. And when I think about it, I'm like, you know what? Just use and put on your transition shades. And so it is handy for that. These are the last two blending brushes. Sigma. E49 is the taller one. And E45 is the shorter one. I prefer the shorter one. This is the E49. And I do need to probably just send it to Grace. So I got 3 of these. I don't use them. The one about how you put your eyeshadow with the brush. Oh, this one. Yeah, this one, if it was this one, this just made it so easy. Pointy side down and just turn it and just whoop, swoop. And then if I want to blend it, use the tip of it and just, I'm like, man, so easy. So the 49, because it's longer, like and I do think at least half of y'all in here do watch Grace. Y'all know she just be like, boop, boop, with a big fluffy blending brush, and she just puts her shadow. We do our makeup completely different. And so that's why I keep saying I need to see if she has the 45 and she want to swap me for the 49s. Because this is just too big for my purposes. I have used it, but if I use it to place my transition shade, it gives me a wider line because it's a bushier brush. But this is good for if I wanted to do blending, and of course for down here. But I don't prefer it. I prefer the 45 because it is shorter and it's more tapered. So this gives me a more direct line when I want to put shadow right here. And then of course you can wing it out under here, whatever you want to do. All right, y'all, we got 2 more sections to go. I need a beverage. We have our shader brushes. Shader brushes are brushes, I call them shader brushes. Sometimes they call them that too, and sometimes they don't. But for me, I call shader brushes the ones you use shadow to place on your lid. And what surprised me, watching videos, some people use blending brushes to put eyeshadow on their lid. And I'm just like, and what I realize is they like a more softer eyeshadow look. I'm a packer. I want to pack that shadow on and it be seen from a foot away. I ain't gonna say from right across the street. But these are all of my shader brushes. You'll see some of them are looking green. Those are the Esums. Use your finger for your lid. A lot of people do. They just be like, whoop, and they be done. I do things difficult. I use brushes. Or if I want to amplify a shade, I'll use a sponge tip applicator. So some of these are green. The Esom ones have started to, this one is very green. They were white at one point, but I have had them for a long time, so I am not concerned. So these are the Esom V27s, and so is this one. The new ones have the black handles, and they're shorter, and they have angled bristles. So both of these are the V27s. So the rest of them, I'm gonna put away. I got a lot. I think I have 8 of these, and I use them because if I do, I tend to go for this one, putting a shadow inner corner, and then if I'm doing 3 other shades on the lid, is one of these. And y'all know I use I should say a clean brush for each shadow, and so I do actually use the heck, out of these brushes, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. How I have an odd number? I got 9 of these. Damn. But if I'm putting like 4 shades on the lid, this will be the first color, and then 3 more for the other 3 colors. So I do use them. And how many of these do I have? And I have 4 of these and 9 of these. I told you I'm a brush hole, right? We have 2 of these. I don't use these often. These are from Esom as well. These are the T37, 57. T37. I got them because I like angle brushes. I only have 2 of those, so that tells you I didn't like it as much as this one. I got 9 of those. Whew, that's still a lot. And I only have 3 different shader brushes. because then it's the hourglass. So we got the Esoms and this one. Wow, I got so many more different brands of the blending. So I have 6 of the. Damn, I got 6 of these on sale for a coupon code or something, because hourglass is expensive. The reason I like this one is I have a lot of space here. My mobile lid is not a lot of space. Mobile lid is only your lash line to your socket. That's not a lot of space. But if you count from lash line up to here, that's a lot of freaking space. So if I am using, if I'm putting a shade here, of course I'm going for this one, right? And then if I'm using just 2 more shades, I'll use this one because it's wider than this one. And so I can do a wider area quicker. And I'll just do like this, and then this whole section is done. That's done. I love this brush. But I only use it if I'm putting like 3 or 4. No, if I'm only putting like 2 or 3 shades on the lid. Because then I'm going to use more space for each individual shadow. And so I'll pull for this one. And being synthetic, you can use it for whatever. You can use it under lower lash line. You can use it for concealer, whatever you want to do. And that's one of the things I like about synthetic brushes. For those who don't know, my skin does not tolerate natural hair brushes. But I do like with synthetic brushes, you can use it for creams, liquids, powders, whatever. It's not like, oh, okay, let me use this brush for that. Oh, I got to use this type of brush for that. I don't have to be concerned with that because I can just use whatever for whatever. So we talked about the V27. I love angle brushes because they get into the corners. I was using it for out here for a while and then I stopped. But this is my go-to to just place shade right there. And y'all see me use this a lot because it's a lot thinner than the hourglass. Okay, we have our inner corner shade. We put our second shade. Put that brush down, get a clean one, do the 3rd shade, put that down, get a clean one, do the 4th shade, put that down, do the 5th shade, and I'll take the tip of the brush and put here, because you can see what my wrinkle is. And so this is like my lash line. So I'll put it here and then feather upward, and then I'll take the tip on the edge of this point, and that's how I get that V shape. Or that's how I try to get the V shape. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And then I'll just fill it in. But this... that brush, this Esom one, this is, I already said it right, T37. I don't prefer it. I don't prefer it. And I'm just now thinking of how I have this one with blending brushes because of how I can just turn and get the shape, but I don't have this one with blending brushes. This one, it's not dense enough for what I would want it for, because y'all know I like angle brushes. What I usually use this for is if I'm doing a halo. Oh, we've been here an hour and 53 because it just spun on my end. Pointy side down, bring the shadow in. Pointy side down, bring the shadow this way. And so this one I will usually use for a halo eye. Sometimes I will, making myself use it, I'll just use it for outer corner. And it's handy for that because the same way as with this one, instead of, you know, laying this flat, this already has that shape, has that angle, and I can just place it and just pull it up, and I can do the shape that way, and then use the tip of it, you know, to blend it. And so I do like it, I just don't prefer it. I like it enough to still keep it, but I don't use it that often. But this brush is really good for that. It's just a little more loose than I would like it to be because I pack my shadows on, and this isn't going to really pack it for me. So I have to work a little bit harder. One more section, y'all. One more and we're done. Woo! These are the brushes I use for lower lash line. We have 4 of the Fenty 220s, and these are starting to stain. I don't care. I've had these a long time. If I had just bought it and it stained, I would be kind of like, excuse me, but no. The Esom, these poor Esoms, y'all. These things is green. They were white when I bought them. Y'all, it's a shame. Yeah, I'm like, these poor little Esom brushes. I be using my brushes. We have 2 older ones and 2 newer ones. The newer ones have the black handles, but they're the same shape. Actually, these look a little bit wider, but I have these over here. So we're going to, oh, these are green. I, I don't even care. I've had these so freaking long. These are the newer ones. Um, and very similar, if you remember back to the Sephora ones that I used to place. And this is what I used to use these for. And then when I got the Sigma, I'm like, I'll put Sigma over there. And I'll put these back for upper lash line liner and or for the brows. Or blending out pencil liner underneath. And so that's those. Whew, jeez. I have 2 of these from Hourglass. We're going to put one back and talk about the other one. 2 of these from Makeup Forever. Put one back, talk about the other one. And then just a couple randos. We have 3 of these. These are Sigma. I really did like them. I have 3 of these, so put one back. This is them brushes, y'all. This is a rando brush. Those poor easels. I had them for a long time, and that's why I'm not upset about it. If I had them for like a couple months and they turned, I would be upset. But I've used the hell out of these brushes. I am not upset. I've had them for a long time. And that again is why that situation with Sigma, I'm just like, fuck y'all. Because it hasn't even been a year. You know what I'm saying? I've had these brushes maybe 5-10 years, however long. I don't know. But I know I've had them for a very long time. And they just started staining 2025. This is a random brush. I think it was a crown brush. Whatever it said rubbed off. And this came in a subscription box. And I like this one. It's very dense. Of course, it's soft. All my brushes are soft. Except for that damn one I threw in the trash from Sigma. This, because it is dense, this eye just twitched. I'm like, what the hell? Because it is dense, even though it's soft, this is good for blending out pencil eyeliner. This is really good for that. Because it is stiff and it's soft though. This is good for that. I think I have used it to put paint pot or fluid line in my brow. I have used it to line under my brow, but this I mostly just use it for under here. All of these brushes in here I use for under my lower lash line. Y'all have seen me use this a lot for lower lash line color, and I like it because it is tapered, the same as this one. But this one be good for the inner corner. Yes, and I used it like that a few times, but I generally don't use a separate shadow for inner corner. But yeah, I did used to use it for that. Yep, Skinny Queen, you're right, because it fits like right there because it is so pointy. Yeah, I did used to use it for that. This one y'all see me use it a lot. I'll do one shade over here, put it down, pick up a clean one, put another shadow over here. This I really like for that. I used to use it also for, and it's called Precision Brush, the 220 Precision Brush. I used to use it to do my shape, to do a triangle shape, and I used to use it also for under the brows. Because it is tapered and it's a nice shape. There's a lot to do with this. So when they say precision brush, this is, if you want to do a graphic line with this anywhere, this is good for that as well. Yeah, 9 times out of 10 when I'm putting shadow under here is with this 220 brush. Yep, this is from Hourglass. Y'all see it's very blunt, it's very short. If I just want to blend out or buff out shadow that I already put under here, I'll use this brush for this, because this is not going to give me a thin line. It's not going to give me anything thin like this. But if I want to just blow it down or have a wider line or bring color down here, I'll use this brush to buff it out. And I don't know what it's for. It's their number 9 brush. I think it says it's a shadow brush. Excuse me for smacking, but I can't imagine using this for shadow. But it would work for that because it is dense. But this is a little peculiar to me. I stopped. Oh, hey, Faith, how are you? You started wearing makeup a long time ago, but I am looking for ways to minimize under eye circles and puffiness. Any advice? That'll be a different video. Right now, apologies though. Right now we're going through all of my eyeshadow brushes, what I use them for, what they can be used for, because I do receive quite a few questions on, what brush to use for this or that. I would say, concealer, yes, Skinny Queen. But what has been helpful for me is skincare, eye cream, eye serum, like over time. So I would say just try to find a good eye cream or eye serum to use like twice a day. Concealer, yes, short term in that look, but then when you wash it off, we still have that darkness. I have darkness under my eyes too. And so concealer, yes, for that moment or for the time you have it on. But as far as, lightening the under eye, I would say skincare, because that's going to work long term if you're consistent with using it. So this brush, I do think it says eyeshadow. but I can't picture how. If I just did my mobile lid, which is only this space, then yeah, but I do, you know, all the way up here. So this isn't going to give me like what I want. So when I do pick this up to use it, I just use it to blend out under here. And that's why it's with the brushes I use for lower lash line. This one was from Skincare is Your Best Friend. It helps a lot with things like breakouts. Yeah. When people be like, oh my gosh, you're 50 something, skincare and genetics. When Makeup Geek was going out of business and her stuff was like half off, I got 3 sets of her eye brushes. This is the only one I have left. The other ones I gave away. I'm sure it was a giveaway or something because I just wasn't using them. But I do like this one for putting color under here. It's not going to pack color, but it's good for blending. Yeah, this is the only one I kept. This says Define Crease Brush, but y'all know I don't put color directly in my crease. I take my lid shades from here up to here. But this is good for that if you do your makeup that way. Hey Robin, good to see you too. And it would be good for under your brow. You know, but I don't do crease. And that goes back to the beginning. Use a brush for whatever you like to use it for, because I don't do directly in the crease. I don't do directly in my transition, but that's what this brush is for. I use it from under here. I just graze my eyeball. So let me wash that one. There's my eyeball fluid on there. This brush, wait a minute, what is this? Sigma. I don't know what I thought, but it is thinner than the Hourglass. A lot thinner than the Hourglass. But this says E31 domed pencil brush. I don't know what I thought. It must have been a cell or something. But I use the same thing. Blend under here. If I can go back in time, would I have gotten it? Probably not. I only have one of these, so that tells y'all something too. Because if I like a brush, what? I get more. No, damn it, I do got 2 of them. I probably purchased them both at the same time, anticipating that I was gonna like it. But y'all just use this for under here. I don't think I would miss these if I gave them away. So maybe I'll put these in the giveaway. Like, I really don't think I would miss them. I'm not ready yet. No, I'm gonna keep them. The other ones I was ready. I'm like, yeah, let's just give them. Yeah, I'm not ready yet to let those go. Even though deep down, I do really believe I still won't be using them. So that's the part of me that's like, give them away. I got 3 of them. Wait a minute, what? How did that happen? I got 3 of these. Should I give 2 of them away, y'all? Give all 3 away with the face brushes. Then we got 3 of those foundation brushes, 3 of the Blend Bunny, 2 of the whatever other brushes, that big ass gift with purchase brush. All right, okay, I'm putting them over there with that. We're gonna give those away. Now it's ironic that these I'll use before the Hourglass, but I'm not getting rid of my Hourglass. These ones. So I put, yeah, so, ooh. Yeah, so those are gonna be a giveaway. Sure, if you want on the charity, keep your eye out for the giveaway. That's all I'm gonna say. On friggin' Instagram, they had, this was probably like a year ago, they had a thing pop up. LaRouche was having 50% off brushes or whatever. So I'm like, ooh, and their brushes are not expensive anyway. Their brushes are the ones you usually get in subscription boxes. Hey Justin, a gift with purchase, you say? I love a gift with purchase. Yup, and I'm giving it away. This was one of the brushes I received gift with purchase. It is a nice brush, I just don't use it. I very seldom use it. And I like stuff to be used. So I purchased these. I have this with under eye brushes because as far as lid shade or blending, it's just too flimsy. And so I'm gonna get this away too. I just don't, and it says it's a tapered blending brush. You know what, I'm gonna keep it because I'll put this with my blending brushes. It's just it's just really flimsy. But this will be good for blending. Y'all put this over with the blending brushes. And I only have one of those. I purchased 2 of these because I just knew I was going to love this brush. And these are the LaRouche angled shading brushes. They lie. They lie. They lie. Look how flimsy this is. Look how flimsy this is. How are you going to place eyeshadow on with this? angled shading brush. You can't play shadow with this. Look at this. I was just like, so I'm just like, and shadow poof, like it was, there is no structure to this brush. And I was going to throw them away. They were half off, maybe like $4 or something. And I was going to throw them away. I don't even know. If you're using a cream product, yeah. Thank you, Skinny Queen. Contour. But this is so freaking, like, you see, look at this brush. It is just, there's no structure to it. But yeah, it might work for that, but you would have to be careful because it's so flimsy, it might be difficult to get a straight line unless the product you're using is thick. Because this has zero structure. This brush has zero structure. And so I was going to throw it away. And I'm like, okay, it was only a few dollars, throw it away. I've eaten more than that. You know what I mean? I've spent money and tossed stuff that costs more than this. And I said, you know what? Just wait a minute. Just calm down. Calm down. So I'm like, okay, let me just try it a different way. Because this is what we're talking about, right? Whatever a brush says, you can use it for what you want to use it for, right? So what I found I love this for is powder shadow, a matte particularly, because sometimes matte shadows are powdery. This is perfect. Put it right under here. And so even though it's an angled shading brush, this sucks for putting eyeshadow up here anywhere, but I love it for putting a matte shadow under here. And so I'm like, I'm glad I tried it and didn't throw it away. So if you have a brush that you don't like how you're using it or what they say it's for, try different ways. And I do know other people that do that. They're like, oh, y'all use that foundation brush for contour, or I use this for that. This is a shader brush, y'all. It sucks for shading for me. But down here with a powdery matte shadow, this is perfect. And this is so freaking soft. So that saved that one. Our last brush, y'all. Our last brush. Makeup Forever. And it is called, what is it called? It is so tiny. What the hell? Made in where? It's a 210 brush. It doesn't say, but I believe it's just called a smudger brush. And so this is the nub brush, Skinny Queen. So in this one too, Skinny Queen, you can use for contouring because it is structured. Wherever you put it is where it's going to stay. Whereas this flimsy ass brush, this one would be great for contouring too, because it's going to hold the shape and it's going to give you a straight, sharp line. But this one I love for blending out eye pencil on my lower lash line. This is very dense. It is very dense, but at the same time, it is very soft. And I do usually hold, I'm not a fan of like pulling my eyes, but sometimes I have to do that if I want to do what I want to do, because as you see, this is just moving, like look at my wrinkles. You see what I'm saying? It just moves my wrinkles. And so if I do want to blend out the eye pencil gel liner I put under there, I will just hold it here. And so this will allow, and I still don't go back and forth usually, but I can now that I'm holding it, because when I'm not, you see all my wrinkles is moving. And so doing this, I could go straight back and forth, but I tend to just go this way to the center, and then I'll come in here and go to the center. And then maybe the very center, I'll just do like that. But I love this brush for this. And again, I'm not a fan of pulling, but some of those pencil gel liners, they dry quick. And so you got to get to it. And so this being a dense smudger brush, that's perfect for that. I have used it before putting color in my brows. I have used it before under the brows. I have used it before for graphic liner. This is just a nice little doohickey brush. So, any questions about brushes, y'all? So for those who didn't believe I was a brush hoe, if you don't know, now you know. Because a lot of freaking brushes. Excuse me. So what we're giving away, not right now. Not right now. They be drying as soon as you put it on. Gotta be quick. Not that quick. I mean, you might have maybe like 10, 15 seconds or something like that. Maybe about a good 30 seconds. But because I usually put shadow over top of the liner, I don't even bother blending out the pencil eyeliner. So that's not an issue. But there are times when I'm like, oh, you know what? I like how this looks with this look. Let me just blend this out. And so I will go for that brush. It will be this brush. Hi, Scott. So not right now, but these are brushes we're going to be giving away. Y'all, I got So we got 3 from Blend Bunny. I'm gonna wash these. These are so soft. These are so soft. And I'm guessing that, I don't know what, I guess you're using for what you want. But you can use it for blush. You can use it for setting powder. Whatever you want to use it for, contour, whatever. But these are so soft. So we got 3 of these. So Skinny Queen said 3 winners. So okay, we're gonna do 3 winners. We have 3 of these, which I was pissed off about because they did start shedding, and 2 of them are stained. So if you do win, and again, it's not right now. If so, if you do win and you don't want these, just let me know, and I'll see if the other winners might want them. They do work, and it does say it's a powder brush, but it deposited too much powder under my eye for me, and as far as the rest of my face, it was just putting too much powder. I prefer a fluffy brush with powder for setting and for finishing powder, but I loved it for foundation. And so I'm not going to do that Skinny Queen because we're wrapping up. And so, you know, we have 3 of these. And they are good brushes. The Sigma just pissed me off with that. And as a reminder, they did start to stain, and every time I washed them, they were shedding. Disclaimer. We have 2 of these. These are great for foundation, and it does say it's a soft coverage brush. It is great for foundation. It is great for cream products. And so I was holding on to them like, oh, I'll use it, you know, cream products, but I find that I don't. I tend to just go for one of these. The shape of this is really nice though because it is angled. So these are great for foundation, and it worked really well for foundation. It worked really well for cream products. I just didn't like the cleaning process because it's just too stubby for me to make sure I get more of the soap and water out. And so I stopped using them for that reason, but they are really good brushes. And so these will be with the giveaway. We have 3 of these. These are Sigma also, Dome Pencil Brush. Use them under here. Use it to wing your liner up there, whatever you want to use it for. Thank you, Skinny Queen. You can use it for contouring if you want to. So we have 3 of those. And 1 of these, big ass powder brush. If you have a small face, this will be way too big for you. But only one, I guess the first winner will win this one if they want it. So whoever wins, just like when we did the Scott Barnes brush giveaway, I left it up to them too. I said, these are all the brushes up for grabs. Y'all decide who gets what. So it may be a situation like that where if the first person doesn't want it, the first winner doesn't want it, it'll just get passed off. So first winner, Blend Bunny, this Sigma, this Sigma, this Sigma, and this big ass brush over here. The second winner, Blend Bunny, Sigma, this one, and this one. Third winner. So each time is 1 less. So this one you get these 3. So the first one I have 5 brushes, and then 4, and then the third one I have 3. And so unless the first one doesn't want this one, then it'll just get passed on. I'll see if the second winner wants it. But are we gonna do that sometime this month? I don't know. I have to coordinate mailing out stuff with how the money is running, especially because, as I said earlier, all of my giveaways are open international, and so that could be like $40, $50, $60, you know, sending something over there. But so that'll be the giveaway for the brushes. I know y'all heard that. Excuse you, Bruce. That was obnoxious. And I'm going to text Grace after this to see if I can swap her out if she has E45s to give her these E49s. And so that is it, y'all. Thank you so much. Replay crew, I appreciate you. To anyone who had questions about brushes, I hope that it was helpful seeing how brushes can be used. Because you don't have to use them the way they say. You know what I mean? And so I hope this was helpful for that. And as far as the different shapes, the different designs, whether they're angled, whether they're, you know, thin, tapered, whatever, I hope that this helps you kind of figure out like what types of brushes you think would be helpful for you. Keep your eye shape in mind when you're shopping for eye brushes. Keep your face shape in mind when you're looking for face brushes. Because if you got a skinny face, don't get a big ass brush like this. It's a fist in your eye. Like, it's going to be way too big. And there were other brushes I loved before for specific reasons. And somebody purchased them because they saw me using them all the time. And they were like, yeah, I didn't like that one because their face was a lot slimmer than mine. And that's something I didn't think about. And from that moment on, I'm like, I need to make sure I speak on that because it, just like with eyeshadow, it's preference. And so with brushes, face shape, eye shape, and also how you do your makeup. Like these are too big for me. Grace loves them. I prefer the smaller ones. And so just keep all of that in mind. And again, I hope, yeah, Janet. So now y'all see when I say I'm a brush hole, I know my issues. Like I do not be exaggerating. I do not be exaggerating. I really don't. Everyone, let be yourself. Good morning, afternoon, night, or wherever you are. You know my outro for me. And so, yeah, I do hope this was helpful. I want to say right now, we'll do our brush giveaway maybe the beginning of February. And maybe they'll have them by Valentine's Day. And I'm saying that because of these pink brushes. Keep in mind, I'll put this one for the third winner. You can see and feel, well, you can feel the glue because this is the one that completely fell apart. But yeah, I think we'll do this in February. So we'll do this next month. If things line up right, because I might forget. I gotta write a note. Janet, I am going to send you a Pinsy's gift card because you worked hard tonight. You worked really hard tonight earlier, and I do appreciate that. And thank you all for your time. Thank you to those who popped in and chatted with us, spent time with us. I appreciate that. Congratulations again for Sons of Ray if you're still here. Yeah, and I do hope this was helpful. For those of you who are always here, I appreciate y'all. New people popped in, new subscribers. Hello and welcome. Appreciate y'all too. And consider joining the membership because we're doing some new things this year with the members. And so we're going to go. So as always, self-acceptance, self-love. That is the Crazy Troll Nation way. Everybody have a good night, good day, good evening, wherever you are in the world. And remember that Sarah has said your membership is only $2.99 a month, and you can cancel anytime. Speaking of which, Skinny Queen, where's your little badge? Your badge ain't there. What happened? Sarah Campbell, like Campbell soup. Excuse me. She said to wish everybody a happy 2026 and that you receive all that your heart desires for this year. And so she asked me specifically in your next live, please let them know that. And I said, I have a live tonight. I'll let them know. And she said, thank you. So she's wishing all of you a happy new year and everything your heart desires. As I am, she's also a disabled veteran. And so sometimes we go through things and we just got to sit back for a minute. And so so keep her in your thoughts as well, because she is dealing with some really rough stuff right now. And yeah, only 2,000. Janice does getting me 2,000. Yeah, I'm looking like, wait a minute, where your star go? And your request is next week too, Skinny Queen. So we're going to go. So yes, Sarah sends best wishes, everything your heart desires for 2026. Keep her in your thoughts. If you pray, keep her in your prayers. Because I can speak for myself. Being a disabled veteran, y'all, every day is not a good day. Like we be struggling. But her and I do stay in touch. And so she is thinking about all of you and she misses y'all. And, she's anxious to get back here. So Haywood, man, we've been here 2 hours, over 2 hours. Thank you, Charlene. I appreciate you being here. And I am still surprised I remember that because I thought the day was Tuesday. And they're like, it's a Friday, girl. Get your check tomorrow. Okay. And so we are going to go. Thank you again, everybody. And our next live, I think, is Monday. And then Skinny Queen's request as a member, because members get to make requests. That'll be on Tuesday. And so we're going to go. But everybody, be well and stay safe. Bye. This is a lot of brushes.